It's me again. So I wanted to talk today about loving your neighbor as yourself, which is always something that we think is one of it starts in Matthew 7:12. It's like Jesus says something about doing unto others as you want done to you, as you want done to you. And two greatest commandments are love your neighbor as yourself and love the Lord your God with all your heart. And but it's and so I totally believe in loving your neighbor as yourself and loving God with all your heart. And this isn't preaching against those, or it's not teaching against those. I am just giving you some thoughts that I've had about it. So loving your neighbor as yourself, first off, you have to love yourself first to be able to treat people good. And so if again, I'm not talking bad about anybody, I'm just making some observations. And so if you're unhealthy, if you're just unhealthy, if you're overweight, if you're in a lot of debt, if you just have all these things going horrible in your life and you're told to love your neighbor as yourself, I mean, you can't even love yourself. And don't get me wrong, I know that there are some circumstances that cause people to be this way, but sometimes it's just a choice, and sometimes you just have to make up your mind to get out of it, and it's really difficult sometimes. So loving your neighbor as yourself isn't always the best advice. It's a great thought, but it's not the best advice because a lot of people don't even love themselves. And how am I going to say this? So Jesus is a new high priest in the order of Melchizedek, and so he gave one commandment that is in John 15:12, and his commandment was to love like he loves, to love like he loved. And so how did Jesus love if it wasn't as himself to a neighbor? Well, Jesus loved through the Spirit. And the Spirit has gifts of joy, peace, love, faith, patience, long-suffering, all that stuff. And so those were not based on what he can do, they're based on what God can do. And so I challenge you today to not love your neighbor as yourself, but love your neighbor as Jesus loves your neighbor, and that's through the Spirit. And that is with peace, with joy, with patience, with understanding, long-suffering, and just gifts of the Spirit. So this is a short one today, but yeah, don't try to keep the law, because there's nothing you can do that's going to keep the law any better than Jesus fulfilled it. Jesus took care of the law, and you're not going to go to hell for breaking the law of Moses. You're going to go to hell because you choose to serve your flesh or the devil instead of choosing the Spirit of God. And so it's just a choice about what you want to believe. I had another verse. So I wrote a book. It's called Jesus De-Orthodoxed, Returning to the Heart of Christianity, or Getting Back to the Heart of Christianity. I don't remember specifically what it says. I wrote it down. But anyways, and so I got the money to get it starting the editing process, so I got that done. And here in a month and a half or so, I'm gonna want to publish it and get it out on like Google Books and Apple and what's the other one? Amazon. So, anyways, so I still need some money to do that. So if you want to donate to help me, I would greatly appreciate it. I've already had lots of people donate, and that's just really special. It really touches my heart. Some people I wouldn't even expect, and it's like, wow, where did this come from? Anyways, so thank you for everybody who's helped and everybody who wants to help, and it should be ready to purchase for Christmas in December. So thank you, everybody. You're awesome. Keep being awesome, and live by the Spirit, not by your flesh.